Now, in less than half an hour from now, India's space agency ISRO is set to launch its space docking experiment, also known as SpaDeX, on board a PSLV rocket. Success would mean that India would join an elite club of nations like the US, Russia and China, which have the capability to carry out orbital docking, which is a key technology for future human spaceflight and satellite servicing missions.
India will cross a crucial milestone in its space exploration journey if it registers a success in its SpaDeX, which is short for Space Docking Experiment. Docking is a process in which two fast-moving spacecraft are maneuvered into the same orbit, then brought closer together and finally docked or joined to each other. The mission will be launched on board ISRO's PSLV-C60 rocket. Two small spacecraft of 220 kilograms each will be launched by the rocket. The spacecraft will be placed in a 470-kilometer circular orbit at 55 degrees inclination. The orbit cycle is for about 66 days, with a small relative velocity between the two spacecraft. A 20-kilometer separation or far rendezvous will be created between the two spacecraft. The two spacecraft, known as Target and Chaser, will remain in the same orbit with identical velocity. The Chaser spacecraft will gradually close the distance to the Target spacecraft. The spacecraft will dock successfully and rigidization will occur. Electrical power transfer between the two spacecraft will be demonstrated. A successful mission would help in developing India's own space station called the Bharatiya Antariksh Station, or BAS, by 2035. It will enable Chandrayaan-4 lunar sample return missions, and it will also help India prepare for the Gaganyaan human spaceflight program. The lessons from SpaDeX will also feed into India's long-term goals of creating a self-sustaining space ecosystem, including human space exploration. Several new technologies will also be demonstrated during this mission, apart from carrying out of experiments. This is the first time that the India Trusted Rocket has been put together in the new PSLV integration facility. It has been transported to the launch pad on a moving platform. Launch vehicles have so far been assembled on the launch pads themselves. Lead-in period between missions will get shortened considerably. The mission will also use a new processor based on satellite navigation systems. The fourth stage of PSLV will carry out several innovative experiments for the first time. The fourth stage will be used as PS4 Orbital Experimental Module, or POEM. POEM will demonstrate 24 technologies, including 10 from startups and educational institutions. An ISRO mission will carry out a biological experiment for the first time. The Compact Research Module, or Orbital Plant Studies, or CROPS experiment, will see the germination of seed and sustenance of a plant up to a two-leaf stage. A green propulsion system will also be experimented with. This would be ISRO's last mission in 2024, and its success would prove critical for the space agency's plans for India's Space Odyssey in 2025 and beyond. Gautam Roy's report for DD India.